Last night on MasterChef Australia,
Time is your enemy.
the top 10 amateurs recreated the iconic Chico roll.
Come on, Aussie. Come on.
And while Jonathan's dish impressed,
I'm overjoyed.
Matthew, Callum and Shaunie were not so lucky.
It's really disappointing.
Tonight, those three face off in the pressure test.
This is the battle of the Gen Y cooks.
Together they must recreate a 70s dinner party classic.
This dish definitely does not play to my strengths.
It's make or break as their food knowledge is put to the ultimate test.
I could be in massive trouble.
Will the generation gap prove to be too wide for these young hopefuls?
One of the three of you could be Australia's next master chef. But for one of you, the dream is about to end.
Today is pressure test day. Matt, Callum and I produced the least impressive dishes of yesterday's invention test. So we'll be fighting it out to see who gets eliminated today.
It looks very clumsy.
Really hard to swallow.
It's not Chico roll in any way, shape or form.
Today is my first pressure test in the MasterChef kitchen, so it's a bit of an unusual feeling to be dressed all in black. It's definitely not a situation I think anyone wants to be in. I'd be willing to give up law and my studies for a career in food, because while I enjoy law, it really doesn't push me and motivate me like food does. It's the one thing I feel like I can really put all my personality into.
Waking up this morning, I'm really nervous because being in the pressure test means that there's a 1 in 3 chance I'm going home. A few months ago, I was studying full-time at university and working part-time as a kitchen hand, but I can tell you that this is so much more fun than what I was doing before. It's just amazing. I'd love to win.
To go home today, it wouldn't feel right. It was only 2 weeks ago in my last pressure test when Dad just fully got behind me.
Just keep going.
Dad's been really quite apprehensive about me pursuing a career in cooking because I had a safe job in accounting. I want to see him smiling when I'm up there in the finals of MasterChef. Here you go, mate.
Thanks, mate.
The old black aprons.
It's called a pressure test for a reason, and I'm not that great under pressure, so I guess I'm trying to gather a bit of strength to go forward and face whatever's thrown at me today.
This is the first time that Callum and I have been in a pressure test together.
We're leaving the house as friends, and when we get to the MasterChef kitchen, we're going to become competitors. The idea of competing against your mates isn't great because obviously I want to stay in this competition, but at the same time, I think Matt and Shaunie still deserve to be here. So yeah, it's going to be a tough day, I think.
Matthew, Shaunie, Callum, you're the three youngest competitors still in the competition. Welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen. You're about to face the pressure test. 2 of you will save yourselves, but 1 of you will go home. Your dreams of becoming Australia's next MasterChef coming to a screeching halt.
I've told myself that I'm not going home, and I believe that, so I'm not going home today.
In the pressure test, the rules are simple. You all get the same ingredients, you all get the same recipe, and you all get the same time limit to recreate a dish exactly. But not today. The rules for today are you'll get to see the dish and you'll get to taste the dish. But you won't be given the recipe.
That's really worrying. I think I'm good with a recipe, but I don't know how well I'm going to go without one.
As we're not giving you a recipe today, you have to work out the ingredients you need, and then you need to go and get those ingredients yourself from the pantry.
I'm pretty happy. This really suits me. I'm all about instinct, about getting the flavours right, and I think I'm pretty good at picking out flavours in dishes.
Once you've made your dish, we'll taste it. We're looking to see how close your dish is to the one you're about to taste.
This is a really tough challenge because it's basically a taste test and a pressure test all wrapped up in one.
The dish that you'll be cooking today is a 70s dinner party classic. Chicken can should be there. Stroganoff.
Oh no, this dish definitely does not play to my strengths.
Stroganoff, served with fresh pasta. And that's also part of the challenge.
I'm not too worried about the pasta, I'm more worried about the sauce for that stroganoff.
Well, Matthew, Shaunie, Callum, no 70s dinner party was complete without a beautiful strog. But tell me, Matthew, when were you born?
88.
Shaunie?
88.
89.
I can't help but just do a bit of a giggle because these three guys stand there, you know, going from Generation Y to Generation what?
You know, this is believed to be a classic family recipe. The Stroganoff family, who are a very powerful, influential family in 1800s Russia. Matthew, you've eaten a stroganoff before?
Yeah, Mum used to make stroganoff when I was in high school.
Shaunie?
The first time I'd tried a stroganoff was when Dom made it for the Childhood Memory Challenge. So it's not a dish I've had a lot at all.
Callum?
Eaten one a while ago, but I think it's going to be a pretty big reliance on the palate today. I've never made one before. I've only got a brief idea of what ingredients go into it. I could be in massive trouble. There's a few things that immediately hit me. The beef and the mushrooms. I think the beef's maybe a rump steak or something like that. And the pasta's obviously got some sort of herb through it. I think it's parsley.
Tasting the dish, I think there's a lot of parsley and a lot of salt. The meat and the mushrooms have really kind of infused the sauce with a lot of flavour, and it's got that real creaminess to it as well.
I can definitely pick up beef in there. There's also a big hit of sweetness.
This is a difficult dish, and these are the things that I'm worried about. Number one, the right consistency in that sauce. Number two, picking the right cut of meat as well as the right beast. Number three, that pasta. Silky smooth, al dente. It's number four, those seasonings and flavourings need to be spot on, balanced. There is one ingredient that is synonymous in making a stroganoff. If you don't get that one right, it's not a true stroganoff.
One of the crucial elements of the stroganoff is picking that spice and picking up the paprika.
I mean, paprika you need. It's like making saffron rice without saffron, really.
Guys, you've tasted your make or break dish, the stroganoff, the dish you now need to recreate. You will have 1 hour to bring us the perfect replica of that stroganoff. That 1 hour includes your time in the pantry. So the quicker you choose your ingredients and the quicker you get cooking, the more time you'll have to perfect your dish. you will be allowed to go back into the pantry to pick up other ingredients during the course of cooking.
You're all on par. You're all at the starting line, right here, right now. Think from the heart, and the rest will take part. Your hour starts now.
Matthew, Callum and Shaunie have 1 hour to recreate the stroganoff that they've tasted. This is a no recipe pressure test. This is going to be really difficult.
These guys are making stroganoff today. What they don't know is this is a beef stroganoff.
In the pantry, there's veal, there's lamb, there's also beef chuck, pork, and there's also beef fillet, and that's what we've used in our stroganoff.
I pick up pork loin, chuck steak, beef fillet, and bacon. I'm not sure if there's any bacon in the dish, but I know Mum puts it in there, so I'm going to take it anyway, just in case. I definitely don't need pork fillet, so I don't know why I've taken that.
First thing I want to do is my pasta. So I need some eggs, some 00 flour, and I need some parsley and spinach to colour it.
Shaunie comes out of the pantry with every ingredient except for the meat. So I'm thinking her strategy is to cook everything first and then deal with the meat later.
I start at one end of the pantry and just work my way along, trying to make sure I grab all the ingredients that I tasted and saw in the stroganoff.
Watching Matt and Callum come out of the pantry, the first thing that is really obvious to me is they don't know what they're doing. Matt's pulled out bacon, he's pulled out a pork fillet. Callum's got bacon, beef fillet, and chuck steak.
I know that a stroganoff is traditionally made with beef, so I know it has to either be the chuck steak or the fillet. My initial reaction is to grab the chuck steak.
I know I need to get the pasta on and maybe get the basis of my sauce started before I pick the meat, just so I can give myself a little more time to choose the cut carefully.
When they all come back and start unloading their stuff, I'm looking for, you know, two main things. I'm looking for sour cream and I'm looking for paprika. And I don't kind of see it on anyone's bench. Now, the first thing you want to do is shout down, hey, get sour cream. But we haven't tasted this dish. So if you yell out something and it's not correct, then basically their elimination can kind of fall onto your shoulders.
What do you want to know?
I just can't remember if he blanched it first or blended it first.
No, blanch. Shaunie looks up several times and sees that I'm there, and I think she's a little bit relieved, but it's nice when someone is up above there and sort of just, you know, saying, come on, you can do this.
I decide to make my parsley pasta first. The last two pastas that I've made in this competition haven't been my best work and haven't turned out that well.
The letdown's that pasta.
Need a lot more green in there, mate.
Yeah.
The dish I tasted had a lot of green in it and it was really vibrant with parsley. I've already used one bunch of parsley, so I'm just gonna go grab some more parsley and keep hanging it in until I've got a nice green pasta.
I reckon Callum's got the wrong meat. He's got a cut of meat, which I think is chuck steak.
Were there any steak cuts in the pantry?
Like rump?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but...
I think that's like a gravy beef, which means it needs a long time to cook. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I know I've got these guys' full support, so I'm certainly going to listen to them if they yell down advice. So I run back into the pantry and grab the only other cut of beef there.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Make sure you get all that sinew off, Callum.
Yeah. Thanks.
15 minutes down, 45 minutes to go.
This is the battle of the Gen Y cooks. Which two of you are going to stay and which one of you is going home?
Matt, it's now 15 minutes, mate. So get the pasta done, get it resting, all right?
I could make that pasta dough in about 8 or 9 minutes and have it ready, resting to go. Maddie's taken about 15 minutes to get this happening, which is a little bit of a concern.
Callum.
George.
How are you going with this stroganoff?
I'm struggling to remember what was in it a little bit.
Okay.
You
must have tasted bacon.
When I tasted it, I thought it was rump steak, but then just the choice in the pantry, I'm not sure if I chose the right.
So what are you using?
I'm using beef, I think.
You don't know where that's come from?
Think about it. Think where that comes from. You've seen that before, hundreds of times.
I'm sure I have. Well, I was hoping it was the rump.
That's a rump?
No, okay, it's not a rump then. And now I'm panicking.
What are you most worried about?
Now the cut of meat.
The challenge has started. Shaunie's in a bit of a panic. Matt's just full steam ahead. And Callum is really worked up.
So, Shaunie, what stage are you at?
I'm making my pasta and all of my basic recipes have flown out my head. So I'm a bit concerned at this stage. I've kind of got an egg and flour base here and I'm going to work it to the right consistency by hand rather than using the machine.
It's all about touch, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
You know, you want your thumb to go in and come out clean.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I think I should start this batch again.
Add some more flour and see what happens.
Yeah. What meat did you taste in that stroganoff?
Either beef or veal. I wasn't quite sure to tell the difference, so I haven't looked at the cuts yet. I just wanted to get everything ready and move on to that.
Good luck. Feel, touch. You know, traditional Italians don't use recipes. They touch it, they feel it, they understand it, they cook from here. All right? Come on, let's go.
The first thing I need to do to make my stroganoff is chop up some onions and garlic and saute them off in a pan with some olive oil and some butter.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think the main seasoning in this dish is paprika. Tasting the dish, there was a certain colour to it, and there's definitely a smokiness in the dish as well.
Your mum's cooked some stroganoff before?
She has, she has.
Are you using that to your advantage?
I'm trying to get some of the flavours that I remember from Mum's stroganoff into this dish.
And the core meat in this, what do you think it is?
Beef.
Yep. What cut?
I've got two cuts here.
What have you got?
I've got the fillet.
Yep.
And the chuck steak.
Yep.
And chuck takes a while, so I'd probably be going with the fillet.
Good luck,
Thanks,
man.
guys.
Push,
Good luck,
push.
Matthew.
Yep.
Shaunie finally has the chance to go into the pantry and grab some meat.
I grab what I think is a veal fillet.
She comes out with a fillet and I'm thinking it doesn't look like beef.
Oh, she's got pork.
Is that pork?
I look at it again and I'm pretty sure it's pork, so I drop that at my station and run back in and grab the beef fillet out.
There's half an hour down in this nail-biting pressure test.
You might be young, but I can feel the pressure sapping the years away from you.
With time fast running out, I realise that paprika is the spice that I need in this stroganoff.
They've got less than half an hour.
I've gotten sweet and smoked paprika from the pantry, so I asked Marion which one should I add.
Smoked or sweet?
Sweet.
I think to myself, why did you even ask that question? Of course it's sweet paprika.
Sweet. One of the crucial elements of a stroganoff is incorporating the paprika into the sauce. So you really need to coat your meat in some flour as well as the paprika, and you get that frying off in a pan because this forms the basis of the sauce. You get all those lovely meaty juices coming out, and from there you build the sauce.
Shaunie, did you put garlic in your sauce? Because you got your garlic in there. Just noticed it.
Yeah.
Is there red wine in it? I couldn't find any red wine in the pantry.
There's no... Well, that probably tells you something.
You've got brandy, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fine.
So, Shaunie, you're adding some garlic. Are you going to use any spices in your stroganoff?
It's got this real tastiness that I kind of often attribute to cumin.
Cumin used a lot in Eastern European cookery?
No, it's not.
I just need to have a think about. Just might need to have a think about that one.
I can't work it out. I can't figure out what the main spice is, which is the main point of the whole challenge. I had my beef fillet and I decided to fry off a little bit just to make sure, and I'm tasting it and I'm so sure it was beef. But something in the back of my head just goes, oh, what if it's lamb?
I think that's lamb.
Yeah. Sorry, what's up? Where's she gone?
A little thing is saying in my head, just go the safest route possible, which I thought was the chuck steak.
that sauce, Callum.
Shaunie just gets the meat, seasons it, and then puts it straight into the pan. I'm like, what are you doing?
She's cooking it like a steak and then she's going to cut it up.
It's an interesting way. It's never done that way. I'll tell you what, this is a challenge for Generation X, not Generation Y.
I know my sauce is missing ingredients. I can see both the boys have picked brandy, which I had in my head. So I go back to the pantry. I still can't figure out the spice in the sauce. I'm panicking, and I know if I don't get this spice right, it's gonna send me home. I picked nutmeg.
You have 15 minutes to go in this Gen Y pressure test.
You should be rushing with your Russian dish. George, there is a world of pain out there. I really don't get the impression that any of these three guys really understand how to make a true stroganoff.
I think Callum up the front, he doesn't even know what cut of meat he's got. Shaunie in the middle, I'm concerned that her stroganoff's going to look really brown. It needs to be rich and sort of reddish in colour, and that comes from the tomato paste and, of course, a little bit of that paprika.
I think Matthew's probably the least stressed. That may well be because he's got his mother's stroganoff to go from, but we know that's a risk. You try and recreate something your mother made rather than what you've tasted out the front.
Come on, Callum. Salt, pepper, more paprika, hurry up.
Shaunie, roll it. Don't play with it too much, just laminate it heaps.
The dough's been resting and it actually feels really good. I'm happy that I persevered with my first batch and I didn't throw it out.
That's it. Now fold it, that's it. Good girl. Keep going. It looks really fantastic. I'm really proud of her. She's done really well.
I've got about 10 minutes left. I've got the base for my sauce made and I've also got my pasta made. So now I'm just adding my meat to my sauce and doing all the final adjustments.
Really careful, really careful. Done all that work, come on. That's it, perfect.
Ah, looks great. Yay!
Now that my fettuccine is ready to be cooked, I put it into my boiling water. Because it's fresh pasta, it's only going to probably take a minute.
Come on, Matthew. You're there, mate. Keep an eye on that pasta, mate. Don't overcook it. Yeah, get it out, Matty. Get it out.
There's a very, very small window between wonderful al dente pasta and overcooked slop.
I pull my pasta out, I taste a little bit. To me, it's pretty much bang on al dente, so I don't want it to cook any further. So I run the pasta briefly under cold water, just so it's not too hot and doesn't overcook.
Your fate will be decided in less than 2 minutes.
Use your hands, Cal.
I didn't realise it was a cold pasta salad.
Oh, that's completely thrown me. I've cooked the pasta too early and it's got to be hot when time's up. So at this stage, I decide to make another lot.
I think my sauce is built nicely and the pasta's good, but I'm not confident in the spices.
Maddie, a little bit more cream. Give it some sauce. Hasn't got sauce.
I added quite a lot of tomato paste to the dish. I probably added enough for 2 stroganoffs, so the colour of the dish is quite strong. It's quite red. But I'm happy with the flavour, so hopefully I won't be marked down for the colour.
He's put way too much. This could send him home.
Shaunie, do you have a fork?
She doesn't.
I can't find one.
So I use a tong.
Come on, guys.
With 4 minutes to go, it might not be the wisest decision to start making another lot of pasta. I might be better off just reheating the pasta I've already got.
Do whatever. Just get it warm and then get it back on the plate.
So I can just dunk it back in some hot water for a little while, make sure it's nice and hot again, and then replate it.
Beautiful, Shaunie, beautiful.
Matt. Yo. Come on, buddy. Get it done. There's less than a minute to go, and Matt's not putting the stroganoff into the dish. I don't know what he's doing, so he's screaming at Matt, just get the stroganoff into the dish.
Now. Come on, Matthew, now's the time.
Yep, today.
Come on, guys! Callum, come on! Get in the bowl!
That's a girl.
Come on!
The pressure's mounting. You've got 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Stop. Good job, guys. Step away from your benches. Well done, guys.
What spice did you guys use?
Paprika.
Nutmeg. Shit.
Taking my dish into the judges, I'm feeling quite nervous, so I'm very aware it could be the last time I'm presenting something in front of them, so I'm almost sick with nerves.
Shaunie, tough day at the office?
It's probably an appropriate way of putting it.
Hardest part of the day?
I'd say number one was trusting my instincts because it was completely instinct-based and I know certain things about cooking and I always find myself questioning them. So I think if I had have just gone in completely trusting myself, I maybe would have come up with a slightly better result.
What meat did you initially think it was?
I either thought beef or veal.
And what did you pick?
I grabbed what I thought was a veal fillet, but I realised it was pork a split second later, so I got the beef fillet. But I thought in the back of my head there's a small chance it's lamb, so I went back and I got the rump steak because I felt like it was the safest option.
So what sort of stroganoff have we got here? We got a lamb, a pork, or a beef stroganoff?
A beef stroganoff.
Right. And in terms of the spice, what is the primary spice that you've used in your stroganoff?
I know it's incorrect, but I've used nutmeg.
Right,
Standing in front of the judges, I know it's a tasty dish of food. It might not be an exact replica of the first dish, but I know at least I'm giving them something I'd be happy to eat myself.
Shaunie, it's time for us to have a taste, so thank you very much.
You know, George, it looks marginally darker than the original, but certainly not to a degree to have me thinking she's burnt it, she's overcooked it, she's over-reduced it. So, on that basis, a good-looking stroganoff from Shaunie.
For me, the biggest mistake in this is the steak. It's tough. Pasta, not a bad job. There's a bit of, bite there to it. It's nice and al dente.
If we were sitting in a French bistro and that came out, maybe not called stroganoff, but that came out as a creamy beef stew, we'd be very happy. And that pasta is absolutely fantastic, right? Spot on in terms of its al dente. It's got some really nice suppleness to it. She's done a really good job. Now, Matthew, you've been here twice before. Both times we gave you a recipe. Today, no recipe. How do you go?
Once I settled myself down and really started tasting the stroganoff and remembering what I tasted at the beginning of the day, I think I settled into the challenge and I'm really happy with the dish I put up.
What are you happiest with about this dish?
I personally think that I got the flavour of the stroganoff near on to what I tasted at the beginning of the day, and the consistency of the sauce I'm really happy with.
And your struggle?
I'm hoping that I used the right cut of meat.
What did you use?
I used the fillet in the end.
Matthew, thank you very much indeed. We'll taste now.
Thanks.
Well, George, a fantastic, fantastic colour on that pasta. That is green, lush. I can imagine little ponies galloping across that. It's so green.
For me, the stroganoff, it just looks a bit too fluoro. It looks a bit too on the red side than what ours did.
Too much tomato paste, do you think?
A bit too much. I don't like meat cut like that. It's just very inconsistent, no respect. You know, he's picked the right cut of meat, the eye fillet, which is, you know, an expensive cut of meat. Treat it with a little bit of respect, cut it up consistently, and cut it up perfectly. There's no excuse.
So what do you prefer? You prefer meat cut like that, or meat that's as tender as that?
Which leads me into saying, how beautifully is it tasting?
Right, okay.
It tastes absolutely gorgeous. It's moist, it's tender, no doubt about that.
You get a true punch of parsley in the pasta. It actually has that freshness, and I think that's really important. To have that kind of, that herb freshness in the pasta is vital when you've got such a rich, intense sauce as Matthew's rendered with this stroganoff.
I'm taking my stroganoff into Matt and George, and I'm still not 100% sure I chose the right cut of beef.
What are you most happy about with this dish?
The thickness of the sauce, I got around the mark. I was pretty happy with my pasta as well.
Anything you're worried about?
Still not 100% sure whether I chose the right cut of beef or not.
Callum, thanks a lot. We're going to taste now. You can go.
Thank you.
Well, Matt, in terms of the appearance, it definitely looks like it's got the right colour. But what's concerning for me is there's not enough sauce. And the pasta, we had a little beautiful knot of pasta. He's got a mountain of pasta there.
In terms of positives, there's a flavour there that is almost true stroganoff. Paprika, that little hit of brandy that was in our stroganoff, the tomato sauce, it's all there. But that pasta is overcooked, which is never a nice thing.
You know, what's exciting is he's used the right cut of meat. He's used the eye fillet, but what he has done, he's cut it up very inconsistently. So you've got some small bits, some large bits, and for me, these smaller bits here are like little bullets, where these are beautiful and soft.
You know, George, this is the hardest pressure test we can set anyone. Let's get them back in and see how much they really want this. Matthew, Callum, Shaunie, what a brute of a challenge. Really, a pressure test is never fun, but to go into a pressure test without a recipe, especially when you're all our three youngest contestants and we set you a dish that comes straight out of the 70s, an era 10 years before you were born. The problem with this competition is even when you do something, even when you excel in a pressure test, one of the three of you still has to go home. Matthew, Callum, Shaunie, let's talk about what was in our stroganoff. We need to find out what ingredients were there, what we used. The three core elements of that stroganoff. A beef fillet, paprika, sour cream. You know, what was also important was that flavour of parsley within the pasta. And then within the sauce, that thickening consistency that came from dredging the meat in flour before browning it. That helps thicken the sauce and give the sauce its consistency. Matthew, beautiful green pasta loaded with the flavour of parsley. Wonderful, wonderful flavour in your stroganoff. But that vibrant red colour wasn't quite on the money. Callum, great, true stroganoff flavour. Nice hit of paprika. And your pasta was rolled out beautiful and thin. But you overcooked your pasta. And you needed more sauce on your meat. Shaunie, your pasta was great. The consistency of the sauce was perfect. Because you used chuck steak, your beef was chewy. And there was no paprika in the sauce. Matthew, what's going through your head right now?
I came to MasterChef to get out of what I was doing. And when I'm sitting down with my scrapbook and I'm drawing a recipe and I'm seeing what I want to make and seeing what I want, it just feels right. And I want to be here, I need to be here, and I have to be here.
Shaunie?
I love food, and I don't necessarily cook three-hat food or aspire to be a three-hat chef, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. I've still got the passion. My friends see it, my family see it. My goals aren't huge. I want to be a food writer. I want to inspire other people to cook. I want to share my love of food. And I think it's a bit of a humble dream, but I don't see anything wrong with it.
Callum, why do you deserve to be here?
I know there's people here that are better cooks than me right now, but I think I'm one of the most determined people and most willing to learn to improve myself to get to that next level. Saying that where I'm happy if I went home today, that's bullshit. It's just something that I tell myself so that if I do get eliminated, I can make myself feel better, but it's not true at all.
One of the three of you could be Australia's next MasterChef. But for one of you, the dream is about to end. Matthew, you're still in the competition. Well done. Matthew, you bring out your best performances in pressure tests. That was absolutely fantastic. You nailed that dish. Your mother would have been proud of that stroganoff. I think you need to ring her and thank her because she taught you well, Matthew. Well done.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Shaunie.
Callum and Shaunie, it comes down to you two. It comes down to the dish you cooked. Callum, you're safe. Shaunie, I'm sorry. You're out. Shaunie, I think you know the reasons why it came down to that paprika. Not getting the paprika in the dish. Even though it was a delicious dish to eat, it just didn't have that stroganoff hit it has to have. It's a small thing when it comes to a stroganoff, when it comes to a pressure test, it comes to the top 10. That's the sort of stuff it comes down to. I'm sorry.
Tell us, what are you going to look back at in terms of your MasterChef journey and remember?
I think the highlight for me was the pizza mystery box. Even though I didn't win, I just had so much fun creating, and then you all enjoyed the finished product. I think my confidence has grown about threefold. I wasn't the most confident person when I started, and it's confidence not only in my cooking but myself has really developed.
Cheers.
To get to the top 10 was a fantastic landmark, and to be surrounded by people with this intense love of food is really special, and I don't think I'm ever going to experience it again in my life.
Shaunie, it's time to leave the MasterChef kitchen.
Okay. I mean, one of you has to win. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. And please say thank you to Gary for me as well. Good luck, guys. I'm going out at number 10, which I think there's absolutely no shame in. I'm really at peace with going today. I don't have any qualms with the judges' decision, so I'm not feeling too horrible to be eliminated.
I think each of the contestants in the pressure test today acquitted themselves really well. You know, I don't really have a gut feeling as to who's coming home and who's not, so it's just a waiting game now.
I can hear the footsteps coming down the stairs, and I'm so nervous about finding out who it is that's walking down.
Walking back into the room with Matt, it's nice to see that the other contestants are pretty glad to see us. Nice, happy reaction, so it's really nice to have the support of the other guys.
What up, man? I think even though Shaunie's left the competition today, she's really going to continue on her path. She's got such a passion for food, and someone with that much natural talent and being so young, she can't help but realise her dreams.
Home and having my parents so proud of me and everyone so excited to see me is an unbelievable feeling. I've been given all the tools possible to have an amazing career in the food industry. I've got some big plans going forward, and I want to really launch myself into food writing. It's a hard industry to crack, but if you can dream it, you can do it.
Tomorrow night on MasterChef Australia.
We have a massive battle on our hands today in the kitchen.
Jonathan goes head-to-head against Gordon Ramsay's protege, Josh Emmett.
He's got no chance of beating him.
Does the amateur have the skills to beat the pro at his own signature dish?
If you get it right the first time, I'll be surprised.
With immunity up for grabs, the stakes have never been higher.
I think Jonathan is giving you a run for your money. It's going to be a good competition.
Can he finally secure the ultimate lifeline?
When Jonathan wants to shine, he shines.
You've got your work cut out for you today, I think. This is my home ground.